Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and we are back in the vehicle assembly building with the Rover Mark III delivery, of course. Today we're going to make the last of 3 trips to Mun. 3 planned trips, of course. There will almost definitely be more in the future, because there's much more to explore on that, in that world, than what we've seen. But this is the last planned trip, because this is the last thing that I have designed that'll go there. Of course, if you guys have ideas, let me know. I just don't know what else to land there. I know with the new update coming up, I'm not sure when it's coming up, but it's coming up. We're going to get scientific equipment, which is going to be, no doubt, useful for just giving me stuff to do. And of course, career mode is on the horizon. We're going to be able to actually, you know, do things in career mode, meaning we're going to be able to have ships that actually have a purpose in terms of scientificness, instead of just, I'm going to send this over here because I want it to go over there. Alright, we have Edlu Kerman, our buddy-in-chief over there. And we're going to accelerate to maximum velocity. And launching in 3, 2, 1. Lots of explosions. This is a very powerful. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful rocket. Now let's tone that down a little bit. A little bit. Just put on the brakes, because we don't need those wheels spinning. Alright, our solid fuel boosters are half depleted. Our mainsails are not yet overheating. The middle one is not fired. I think I'll fire it when we lose the solid fuels. Speaking of losing solid fuels, activate this on its own. It'll just give us a little bit of a boost. I mean, we're already getting up there anyway. As I said, this is a very efficient rocket. It's very good at getting us places. By efficient, I actually meant speedy. I didn't mean to say it's an efficient rocket. I meant to say it's a speedy one. It has 5 mainsails. That makes it not efficient. However, this rocket in and of itself, because I believe that's a LV-909 under there, with so much fuel it's ridiculous. It can go anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't expect to send this thing. I'm pretty sure an LV-909. I'm not sure how much thrust it has, but we're going to find out in a bit. This thing can go up to 150. How high is our apoapsis? It's outside of the atmosphere. I can just go ahead and keel over like that. In fact, I can wait. I'm not sure how much this guy functions, how much thrust it outputs as compared to one of the nuclear fueled, the LVNs, I believe they're called. But I know the LVNs, they're not great, but they are extreme in terms of how good their fuel consumption is. It's alright, just don't snap in half, will you? Please, do it for me. not the not snapping part. Want to bring the heading around to 90%. Stop wobbling, you darn thing. Close enough. That was a little bit delayed. I remember, well, I can't remember if it was actually on camera that I did it. I do believe it was, actually. But I remember I had to abort a mission. Yeah, okay. I had to abort a mission, and I saved the people via using the thrust vectoring to turn us around. I believe it was back during the time when your ship didn't do anything without SAS on it. Where's our... Whoa, that's a little much. I'm just gonna... Alright, there we go. That's our booster in orbit, just being another piece of space debris. We won't see it again, however. I believe this would be the best place to add a maneuver. Whoa! You know what, I'm completely okay with that. As a matter of fact, that's pretty great. What is our burn going to be like? 22 seconds. Actually, it's calculating from the old engine, so it's probably not going to be anywhere close to 22 seconds. But we're going to have more than enough fuel to make it, is my point. I'm probably going to start at T-minus 30. Make a little quick save. I feel like I'm a pro at doing this because I've been doing it so much. And as always, I'm going to say this in the middle of transit because you guys may or may not be paying attention by the time the end of the episode rolls around and I'm recounting, hey, this is what you should do to help. Okay, the burn's going to be a little long, so I guess I can just talk. What I'm going to say, you know what, we have more than enough fuel. That'll cut the burn time. Let's see, what's the, thrust is 50. The thrust on the nuclear is 60, and it's ridiculously fuel efficient. I'm not sure if it's more efficient than this guy, but it's very efficient. And I know the aerospike is also very efficient, and it provides a heck of a lot of thrust. But it's heavy, and you can't put a decoupler behind it. That's my issue with the aerospike. Although I use it a lot. Alright, so what I was going to say was we are going to be, at this point, because I don't know what else to put up here, you guys should definitely go in the comments, suggest what you want me to do. I'm not the kind to make missions for myself, even though I will. I will eventually, I'll always find something to do, but I'm not the kind of person to really make missions for myself. I am, as of right now, kind of making a call out to the audience, not only for my own sake, but because I really want to get you guys involved. It's extremely important to me to have the audience involved in your video making. But what I'm going to say is, I want to hear from you guys what you want me to do next, because we're going to be kind of done on Mun. No pun, whatever, it's a rhyme. We're going to be done on Mun when we're done with this. Where do you want me to go next? It could be somewhere as close as Minmus, or somewhere as far as Jewel, or even YOLO. I just pronounced it YOLO. I should kill myself. I'm going to scroll all the way out and check its name. Elu. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. It's Elu. It's an electronic loo toilet. when I build the Rover Mark IV delivery, or Mark III delivery version 2, I might stick a LVN on this. Almost definitely, as a matter of fact. Let's zoom in a little. Because that'll take us to some serious places. Like, it's gonna send us far. So, to reiterate, because I know what I was saying was a little bit scatterbrained and confusing. I mean, I'm sure I got the message through, but I want to make it a little more succinct. Put your ideas, any kind of ideas for what I should do in this game, in the comments section, and I will listen to them. At the very least, I'm going to look at them and say no. And I'm not sure how many of you guys fear rejection that much, but alright, let's cut this. Goodbye. That's gonna send us pretty far out there. Because this thing was so easy to build, and it is a lander in its own right, and it's a mobility platform, I may just start using this thing just as its own working tool. It's not gonna be... It's no longer going to be a follow-up to missions, it's going to be the mission. Especially after I have an LVN on this thing and I can go anywhere I want. The first stage just gets it into orbit instead of what the probe ships do, which are some pretty cool ships that I gotta show you guys. Which is, what the probe ships do is they basically eject themselves from Kerbin forcefully by going straight up, because if they turn over, they break. Oh, okay, that periaps is a little bit close. Burn for 47 seconds. That's an incredible burn for how little we're doing. I forgot there's a ridiculous amount of torque on this thing because how much I put on the rover to keep it from flipping. Let's make a little quick save again. And go way in there. We're orbiting opposite. And we're going backwards relative to... Well, not only relative to what's normally done. I think Apollo did it this way, as a matter of fact. But, point being, we're going backwards relative to that Munner station, which is not really a Munner station. You know what? That's what I'll do next. If you guys don't suggest anything, what I'm probably going to do next is I'm going to take something and connect it to this thing, this derelict, basically. And make it a K-station. Not a K-station, a Mun station. The K-stations are for Kerbin, the M stations are for Mun. Yep, fine with that. Goodbye. Alright, so here is the delivery. Put new lights on it. Oh, well, I put lights on the rover, but that doesn't help at all. Here's the delivery as it stands. Should have put a docking port on this. Didn't think of it. I'll do that in the next version. Going to sidetrack myself and switch to this for a second. That's not what I thought it was. Wait, I set it as debris, didn't I? No? Did I crash it into something? That's the wrong save. I'm thinking of my actual save. What a dummy I am. I'm going to change this thing. That's not it. Where's the... Oh, right. I was about to say, what did I just come here in? Then I remembered it's a, it's an actual... There's an actual dude on this. Although, now that I think of it, I should switch back to that for a second because I'm not sure if there was a docking port on it. If there was, I am definitely going to use it as the first stage of the Mun station. Let me just pop out back into the map view for a second because we need to land over there. I'm gonna set this thing as a rover. Oh, not cargo. Rename vessel. Rename it as a rover. So that I can hit rovers and see both of them. Again, we're coming in at this kind of oblique angle. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to tilt that up and then cut back. Whoa, that was a little too much tilting. I'm going to give that a little nudge because I know I'm going to fall into this orbit, or fall into this thing. And then I'm going to want to back off because I'm going to start coming, I'm going to want to fix it and come down more vertical. Or not, because I'm coming more than vertical at that point. So I'm just going to try and land smack dab on it. And if I miss, I'll just drive to the location. Another little quick save. No biggie if I screw up a moon landing. These guys have infinite air. Actually, I read a rather disturbing article. I guess it's disturbing. But I read an article in the most recent Popular Science, which I got maybe a week or two ago, and just never got around to reading. But it was about what would happen. I assume most of you have seen the trailers for the movie Gravity, which I would actually want to see. Normally it wouldn't be my movie, but it's in space, so that makes up for it completely. Hope I don't get upset with it while I'm in there. And by upset with it, I mean not only from a physics point of view, which I'll talk to you about something that did get me upset in that manner in just a second, but I assume you all have seen the trailers for the movie Gravity, or at least some of you, or at least most of you. If not, look them up because they're amazing. I forgot to do that, and just kind of... I forgot to compensate for where the rover would be. I did it last time. No, you son of a gun. That's not what I want to do. There. No target. I read an article in the most recent Popular Science, sorry, just cutting back to what I was thinking about. I read an article in the most recent Popular Science regarding what would actually happen if you came untethered from the ISS. In the movie, I know from the trailers, I hope the trailers hold true to what the movie is. I know from the trailers that it involves... I'm going to give this thing another little quick save. The space shuttle is in it, meaning it takes place a couple of years ago. Although I wouldn't be all too surprised if they changed reality just a little bit to say that the space shuttle is still in service. Either way, I don't particularly care about that. What I'm actually trying to get to is the space shuttle. If, in the article I said, if you were to float away, you have your EVA pack. And that would help you get back. But if the ISS has its airlock damaged, if in this scenario the ISS airlock was damaged, there would be no other way of recovering you, because we don't have a ship with an airlock, because the one that did was the space shuttle and it's in retirement. Well, that was a really bad one. I'm just going to revert to the thing. Remember, the burn was a minute, so I'm going to actually start a minute in advance, so when the burn... God damn it. I hate when it does this. One gripe about Kerbal Space Program. Whoa, stop. Oh, whatever, just go. Probably about as close as we're gonna get. Actually, you know what? No, hold on. Why was I setting up a node? One more try at this. This is how I'm gonna play it. Just start my burn right now. If I screw up, I'll drive there. But this is probably the best bet we have. Because of how I did it. Just because of how I did it. How quickly I made my quick... Or how close I made my quick save. Which was honestly pretty dumb of me. But if... Okay, I'm gonna give you the gist of this article. It was only like a third of a page, so it won't be that hard. If you were to be drifting away from the International Space Station, let's say now. You're watching this video as you're drifting away, so I'm giving you instructions. Just kidding. I'm sure most people's first reaction would be, oh my god, gotta tweet this. But what you'd actually do is you pull up your EVA pack and you fly back to the ISS, and if they can let you in, they let you in. And if they can't, well, you have 7.5 hours of air and some water to keep you company while you suffocate. I read the article and I was like, wow, that's pretty grim. Wow, we ran out of fuel? I am honestly astonished that we just ran out of fuel. I guess we're landing there. Whoa, don't waste the fuel. If this screws up, I could always try it again. Just straight from the beginning, I'd make a new recording. You guys wouldn't even see this. But, or maybe you guys like to see me fail. Hell if I know. I'm sure you do. What I was going to say, is that yeah, no, we don't have enough fuel to make this landing. I expected to have it all with us, and I prematurely disconnected the stage. Oh well, new recording. Scratch this. I can't revert the flight. And if I return to the Space Center, he's just going to die. Probably should have saved some fuel. Maybe the rover will cushion our fall, and if he survives, he can waddle on over to the thing, or I can just drive over here and pick him up later. Oh wait, these guys only have one seat, so we'll have to waddle all the way over there. Ed Lou, it's been a pleasure knowing you. I'm sorry to say that you are about to die. Oh wait. Maybe this'll help. Holy hell, what? Wait. No, not warp. I wanna... Where is he? He's dead. He's dead. You're dead. Sorry, dude. Holy hell, you survived? Never mind, not new recording. This is the greatest thing ever. Turn off the damn thingy. Turn off RCS. I mean, you're gonna be stuck here on the surface of the moon until someone comes and gets you. I think I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and... What the hell is going on with that thing? Oh my god, it's Disco Leg. Well then. Okay, so here's a wheel. Obviously the rover didn't survive. Here's the body of the rover. Here's a thing with a light on it. Another broken wheel. The upper body of the rover. With this thing that actually has some electric charge in it. Hold on. I think it looked better flipped over. Added to the scenery. Whoa, too much flipped over. I'm gonna rename this thing to debris before I can't anymore. Because it's gonna run out of power. That thing survived. That's a miracle. This survived. This survived. This survived. And he survived. Alright, so... I just had an idea. The rovers can actually drive themselves. So he's going to hang out here. In fact, I'm going to have him plant a flag over here. Just so that we have something to navigate towards. Plant flag. May we all always remember to bring enough fuel. He looks pretty happy. I mean, I would be too. He just survived a rocket crash. I'm just gonna have him hang outside. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't think this thing has power left. Probably not. Let me grab, get in. Oh, it does. Rename it debris, and then have him get out again. And he's gonna stand outside because that's debris. Well, if anything... Well, I can't switch this thing's name. This thing neither. Damn it, I can't, These things all hold. I really, really, really wish you could set something to debris. Let's just switch to the moon-based beacon. For now. We just hit half an hour on the episode, so I'm probably not going to do much else now. This thing's still hanging out here. It's got more than enough fuel to do stuff. I didn't mean to actually... I didn't want to switch to the moon-based beacon. I wanted to switch to Mooncraft. That was pretty awesome, and it was a combination of awesome and just really dumb. I have my doubts about this thing, one of them being that I don't think it can leave. So what I want to do is I want to engineer something to not only get these guys off of the face of whatever planet this is, Mun, as well as... This is going to be the little rover that could. We're going to go after and rescue them. Now we're going to get the other one in here. This one rolls too much. Although, I've never had this thing break. It rolls a lot. Also, it's slow. Oh, wait, and this one can't drive itself anymore. It doesn't have the things on top of it. Oh, well, that's a shame. The other one can drive itself. I mean, this thing has potential to make it back. It has distinct potential to make it back. And I'm gonna F5. We can in fact lift off. And I'm gonna load that quick save because we wasted a tiny bit of fuel, then I'm gonna be just, you know, a you-know-what about. But this guy's probably going to stay here until the end of time, or until I absolutely need him to go somewhere, because this is the moon base for now. Until we put something else down here, this is the moon base. It's going to be called the Edlu Rover because it's the dude who wrote on it. You know, I distinctly remember telling someone about the fact that the why is this so bright? The fact that that thing didn't have great landings, and now that this happens, yeah, didn't have a great landing, did it? I guess it is my own impatience that led to that. I will take full responsibility. But we suddenly have a lot more to do here. We have a dude to rescue, 3 people to eventually return home, in a moon base, or a mooner station to build. So we'll see that out till it's through. Yeah, I can't drive that thing. Yes, we will see this out till it's through. Don't know if that's redundant or what, but that's that. That's our escapades on the moon. We have lander or beacon check, lander check. Don't count that as a rover. Rover, not so check. New rover incoming. Station, sorta check. This thing has a docking port. I'm gonna say check, but in progress. Like half a check. It has a micro docking port. Micro docking port. So like a tenth of a check. It has enough RCS to do whatever we need it to do. And I'm gonna have to design ships to make a station off of this thing, or rather just bring a station into orbit synchronous with this thing and dock it, which would be easier for this thing to fly around than for that thing to dock to this, because it's so small. We're gonna have to have a new rover come in you know what, I'll just go back to the Space Center and strut on over to the VAB, check out that LVN rocket mabobber. And it's nighttime here. The people in the control center must have been holding their breath. Just load up the Rover Mark III delivery. I'm not actually worried anymore that this thing doesn't have 2 seats because it can drive itself. So let's go into propulsion. 50. 60. Right now we have more than enough fuel to make it anywhere, and I say that with a bit of a laughing connotation because of what just happened. This guy has an ISP of 300 and then 390. This guy has an ISP of 220 at sea level, which is pretty damn low, and then 800 in a vacuum, which is incredible. Of course, things like this are never close. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Poodle is not great. It's better than, it's just the same as that, except larger and less efficient at sea level. But yeah, that's Rover, I guess. We're gonna take it back to Mun later, next week. Maybe by then I'll come on here and make some designs and I'll show off what precisely we're going to be doing. Maybe, where's the super heavy lander or whatever it is? Alright, it's a 3-person, which is good. It's kind of what we need. It's not a 2-stage, which kind of surprises me if it's so heavy. I guess it's meant to go down, and then when it comes back up, it docks. That's why it has so much RCS fuel. Check out the 2-stage lander. Is a 2-person thing. What we're probably gonna do when we're gonna get them all back is the ship that we're gonna use is, of course, going to be built off of a command pod, a Mark 1-2 command pod, because it can hold 3 people. Or maybe I'll just make it a hitchhiker storage container. Actually, it will have to be a hitchhiker because we're gonna have 4 people. Where's that? Utility? Yeah. Because we're gonna have 4 people, we're gonna have the second person from the... I never realized that was for description. I had no idea what that was for until, like, yesterday. But we're gonna have the second person from the other rover, which we're gonna get cracking on later. In the meantime, go ahead and post your suggestions in the comments. I will take the one I like the most and try to remember it, and if not, I'll just ask again later. So if I don't respond to your request, be persistent. It's not annoying to me unless I say no and then you keep saying it and I keep having to say no. If I say no, it's probably a maybe later. Unless it involves a mod, in which case it probably is a no. But if I don't respond to it in one video, or if I say, yeah, I'll do that, and then later ask for suggestions, type it again. Because then that might be the time where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Like, I am ready to go to Jewel. I'm actually not right now, but I have a rocket that if I was ready to go to Jewel, I could use it. Because I built it, and I keep using it, and I keep upgrading it, and I keep enjoying it, actually. Except it takes like 3 hours to get a Jewel. the only issue on that is, yeah, time. I'd probably do a lot of cuts, especially in the middle of burns, because it's 3 LVNs and a pretty heavy rocket. So the burns take like 10 minutes each, and I'm not joking. I just did a session before I started this video where I'm doing hand motions. I don't know. I should be moving the camera around, making this interesting. But I did a session before this where I flew the ship halfway to Joule. And the burn took 12 minutes to get to get into Joule intercept orbit. But whatever, that's that. I bet this is the command building. Also, I saw a picture of what the research labs are. They're like this enormous thing that's right here. I don't know how you're supposed to click past it at that point. But whatever, that's that. We're just waiting for 0.22, and then we'll see what we'll do with that update. Probably going to keep the world around. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next week. I gotta get cracking on some builds. Train man out.